welcome back to Select Start. I'm Dio.
And I'm Jay.
And as you can see, we are continuing to play a little bit of Lego Marvel Superheroes here. Lego Marvel Avengers, sorry, not Lego Marvel Superheroes. There is a big difference, like I said. I prefer Lego Marvel Superheroes to Avengers, but that's because it's a lot more open world. And you'll see what I mean by that in a few seconds. Because at one point, yay, rescue Stan Lee.
Excelsior!
Thanks, true believer. But one of the fun things about the Lego Marvel Superheroes game was the fact that there was a centralized New York, an actual New York, that you would run around and explore with all the superheroes that you unlocked. So you want to be Spider-Man swinging through the city 1 second, you can. Then you switch to Iron Man, and there was like a ton, and I do mean that, a ton of fun to be had there. And you were able to unlock certain characters that really, in this game, wouldn't make any kind of sense.
You know, another game that was like this, it was Marvel Infinity.
Marvel Infinity.
The Infinity toy that you had on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, Disney Marvel, the Disney Infinity. I'm still looking to complete my collection. I'm missing, I would say, maybe anywhere between 10 of the, I'm not going to say rarer figures, but figures that I really didn't seek out at the time, like Loki and Thor. No, sorry, not Thor, but like Loki, Green Goblin. Some of those I'm missing, but for the most part, I have a pretty decent collection. And in fact, since I'm basically just running around here, I'll actually take the time to edit in a photo of all of my Disney Infinity figures that I have. I have all of the Star Wars ones, and I have most of the Marvel. Like I said, I'm missing maybe about 10 of the Marvel ones. But that was a super fun game. I'm so disappointed that they just canceled it. Because I really jumped in on, was it Season 3, Stage 3? I'm not sure what they officially called it. But the third step of
Phase 3.
Of Phase 3, no, that's the movies. But whatever they called it, Series 3.
Yeah.
See, here it is, the classic Lego humor, Scarlet Witch sneaking up on Tony Stark to like mess with his head with the plant. And you know what? I give Elizabeth Olsen a lot of credit. She did a really good job in Age of Ultron and Civil War.
Yeah.
She was like a major, really well done addition.
One pretty lady.
She's a gorgeous lady too.
Yeah.
She really is.
We're just gonna let them take it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Infinity.
Yay, level complete. And now we get to free play and go back with all the other characters that we have. Which is basically the base Avengers at this point.
Yeah. I'm always happy once I get through that first train it stage.
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of times I get annoyed at those stages. I was like, come on, man, let's get through it. I just want to play the game when
See, and here's the one thing I will say about the Marvel Avengers. Whereas
so many unlockables.
Well, that's all the Lego games. But I think they sort of gypped us in the amount of characters.
Really?
For Marvel Infinity, only because they make the distinction between Age of Ultron Captain America and Captain America from his own movie. Like, the different costumes, they counted as a different character.
Okay.
Whereas in Marvel Superheroes, don't get me wrong, there were a couple different Iron Mans and Captain America outfits, but it wasn't as bad or as pronounced as this game.
Hulkbuster's a badass one.
And again, all of this has to do with the fact that they're forced to follow the stories of the movies in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He is ready to lead, and our force, our Atari, will follow.
I love those little touches. That's what makes all the Lego games so much fun to play. Is the little touches in the cutscenes, the animations, And I think that the best ones are definitely in the Star Wars Lego games. But the Marvel ones, the Lego Batman ones, they have really well done ones too. Oh, here it is.
Nick Fury with his big Slurpee.
You know what sort of has me concerned a little bit?
What?
Like, I'm just thinking about things now, right? Like, out loud. Obviously, there's contracts that different actors have. Like, you could...
Hey, Agent Coulson.
Yeah. Becomes an unlockable character.
Sorry, sir.
But there's different characters, different... Oop, there we go. More
I love
characters
Agent
unlocked.
Coulson. He's so freaking cool in the movies. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was amazing. This last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with...
the blue soap.
With who?
The blue soap.
The blue... Oh, where he was talking about making soap the whole time? Yeah.
Yeah, the conspiracy theories and shit.
Where he makes his own soap in the alternate universe. I really liked the LMD storyline. It was well done. I loved that they did Ghost Rider this season.
Oh, Ghost Riders, man.
Like, I cannot believe they went as far as they did with Ghost Rider. And the fact that they moved to, like, the later time slots, they could get more, quote-unquote, adult with their content was an amazing choice. Like, I think this was their best season by far. And this is coming from a fan of the first season. A lot of people weren't necessarily as into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The first season because they felt it was a little too childish, not taking it as seriously as it could be.
There's so many great shows out there right now. I can't wait for the return of Legion.
Oh, Legion was amazing.
I loved it.
Confusing as all shit, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, at the beginning
Like, it's definitely not for everybody. But from a storytelling standpoint, I think FX did an amazing job and really made it a worthwhile watch show. I love blowing every single thing up. It's what makes the Lego games for me. It's cathartic. You know, I get to sit back for whatever it is, like a half hour, do a stage, and an hour if I'm bored, and just like break stuff. And get all these little coins, which I use to unlock more stuff, more power-ups, more characters. It's just so much fun. The only thing is, there's sort of like an artificial replay barrier in a way. Like, look, for this, if I'm not a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, I can't activate that S.H.I.E.L.D. thing.
Yeah.
So I have to pick a character who is considered part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Whereas if I'm Tony Stark or whatever, I won't be able to interact with it. If I'm Black Widow's part of S.H.I.E.L.D., so she's able to like interact with it. Other characters aren't. Like, it's sort of like an artificial stopping point that forces you to pick a different character, which, again, on the one hand, it's part of the appeal of the game for some people, having to go back and replay and interact. Like, oh, this character's got this laser ability, and he's able to like cut through walls and stuff, right? Whereas other people don't. Like, look, Nick Fury, not an agile guy, he can't do it, so I have to switch over to Maria Hill, and she's one of the few agile characters. So that, 100% agree with. Makes sense. I don't see Samuel Jackson doing backflips and stuff like Captain America, you know what I mean?
Crazy motherfucker.
But when it comes to like interacting with objects, like, okay, this is a S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, it's like, God damn it, you're an Avenger. You think an Avenger can't hack a computer? You know what I mean? It all depends on what the abilities are. So, I think the Lego Batman and Marvel superhero games, for the most part, gain the artificial replay pass for me. Because they do it so well. Especially, I would say, more so the superhero games, because you're dealing with all the different superpowers, right? So you have more variety. Like, one guy can shoot an ice blast, one guy can shoot a fire blast, one guy can fly, one guy can't. Then the minute you start dealing with the Lego universe, the Star Wars universe, with the exception of Jedis and robots, there's not a huge variety in terms of gameplay mechanics. Oh, what happened? Okay, he's hacking it. I'm like, what the hell? Oh no, it didn't work. Up, side. Okay, I have to press the direction. I wasn't paying attention. Yay, Coulson!
Sir, we don't know.
What about Selvig?
Dr. Selvig read an energy surge from the Tesseract 4 hours ago.
NASA didn't authorize Selvig to go to test phase.
I'm pretty sure it's the real Agent Coulson that's doing the voice.
Yeah, it is.
I can't be sure because some of them are obviously like what's it called? Voice actors that are doing good impressions. So I can't really be 100% sure.
Coulson sounds legit.
I think it really is the same Agent Coulson because that actor, he's one of the coolest actors out there in terms of interacting with fandom.
Mm-hmm. He's a huge nerd too, eh? Apparently.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by how would you define nerd? Because a lot of people
not nerd, but he's really into like comic books.
He's into the geek stuff.
The geek stuff.
Yeah.
And he did say in an interview he does play some Call of Duty.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Phil Coulson unlocked. But you. Alright, so what am I supposed to do here? Nope. Okay. Back down, maybe? Oh, probably because Coulson's like a leader, he gives orders, no? I'm gonna look around. What's there?
What did you think when they canceled Agent Carter?
Oh, I was disappointed.
Same here.
I loved Agent Carter.
That...
Like, honestly, like, here's the thing. A lot of people are giving Wonder Woman a ton of praise for being, like, a strong female character, right? And rightly so. It's an amazing movie.
It is.
It's by far the best DC movie that I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming from a huge fan of Batman. And, you know, granted, Batman versus Superman, I am not going to sit here and pretend that it's a perfect movie. But I think they really, like, what they did with Batman got me hyped.
Yeah.
Got me real hyped.
But for strong lead...
Oh, Maria Hill's got me here. Okay.
Agent Carter, for a strong female lead, it was perfect.
Yeah, and I don't think it got enough respect. I really don't.
And then that, and what's the other show they canceled? What's his name?
Wow.
What other show?
To avoid getting a parking ticket.
I just fucking lost track of mine.
Because I know Agent Carter was one they've canceled. I know Inhumans is starting up. It hasn't even begun.
It was the show with the guy, the detective that for demons and spirits.
Oh, Constantine.
Constantine, yeah.
Constantine was great.
It was
Well,
good.
I was so disappointed that Fox didn't keep that one going. And just when it was getting good, too.
Yeah. I fucking hate when they do
Like,
that kind of
honestly,
shit.
like, it makes me sad seeing him guest star on Arrow, if
Yeah.
only because I know how awesome the TV show was. And he was perfect for the role. He really was. If you think that he wasn't the best Constantine, you've got something wrong with you.
The greatest Constantine. Keanu Reeves couldn't.
The Keanu Reeves one, look, the Keanu Reeves movie was okay.
Yeah.
It just didn't lean into the DC part of it,
Yeah.
if that makes sense,
Mhm.
as much as it could have,
was
so that
very
fans
dark.
would have been happy.
Yeah.
But as far as a supernatural movie goes, where he's dealing with demons and the devil and all that, it was okay.
It was okay, yeah.
I'm not going to say it was the best, but it did do the character justice in the same way that, in my opinion, the original 1989 Dolph Lundgren movie was a good Punisher movie. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily 100% accurate, but it's accurate enough that I think people are being a little too harsh on it.
Talk about the Punisher movies from the new ones. You know, we had those 2 new Punisher movies. Which one did you like?
The Thomas Jane and the 2009 one, Punisher Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I thought the Thomas Jane one was amazing. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I'm a huge fan of the Garth Ennis run, where they did have, you know, a giant Russian, and he was living with a group of misfits, like, I'm not going to say undercover, but him and Spacker Dave, you know what I mean? Like his neighbor.
Yeah.
Like little touches like that made me feel like, oh, they're taking the comics seriously. And not to say Warzone wasn't fun. Warzone was definitely fun, but it became very cartoony.
Yeah, who was John
In a
Travolta
sense.
was the bad guy.
Sorry?
It was John Travolta the bad guy. Who was the bad guy?
No, John Travolta was... Wait, was he? No, he was the bad guy in the second... the Thomas Jane one, wasn't he?
The very first one. Not War. I don't think it was Warzone.
No, the Thomas Jane one was the one with John Travolta. The one that I'm thinking, the second one was I can't remember the actor's name now, and it's going to bother me till I remember. But it was Jigsaw. He ended up playing Jigsaw as a character.
Yeah. So how do you like the Punisher in the shows?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. What they did with the Punisher on the Netflix series
Pretty good.
was fantastic. By far, my favorite version of the Punisher.
Yeah. I'm not impressed with Iron Fist much.
Well, look, Iron Fist, my problem with Iron Fist is really the way they cut the action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that that's the problem with it because you have a very much quick cut where you could tell like they taught the actor, okay, do this motion, this motion, this motion, and
Yeah,
we'll
the
cut.
martial arts stuff.
So the martial arts wasn't as deep as, say, something like Into the
Daredevil.
Badlands
Look at Daredevil.
on
yeah.
AMC
Oh, that's
or Daredevil, where they had the
Yeah.
time to like train the stunt crew to do longer, extended fight sequences. I think it suffered from the shortened time frame to actually film the fight scenes. But you know what? I think we'll watch this cutscene real quick, and we'll cut the episode off here. What do you think?
Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. Let's see what Dr. Selvig's doing with this chainsaw.
She reaches peak level.
We're prepared for this, Doctor. Harnessing energy from space.
We don't have the harness. My calculations are far from complete.
Have you seen anything that might set this thing off?
The cube is a doorway to the other end of space, right? Doors open from both sides.